Streaming on YouTube and Facebook and Facebook
Mm.
and Facebook. Hi
Are
guys.
we are we famous?
Yeah, no.
Not famous?
We're not, but we will be after this because we're talking about optimizing your Google My Business. We're about to give like some hot strategies away. Yeah? Yeah. You love Google My. I heard that, Greg. You looking at us online?
I was waiting for it to go live so I could get the comments and stuff. But
Right? I
it's
have
that instant second where you like start it and then you have to hit the like mute.
yeah, but I have to always hit refresh on the Facebook
Oh,
biz.
do you?
Yeah, just to see the video. It's that good. Notice how we didn't have a timer to go in, guys. That's because we wanted to get to it right away. It's going to be very exciting today. We're talking about Google My Business. Greg, introduce yourself, and then I'm going to go find the video, talk for a minute.
Hey everybody, my name is Greg McKinnon to be exact. I run Original 72 Creative, and we are a full service website, graphic design, and digital marketing firm in Vancouver.
That's it. That's actually good. I like that. And I am Pip, Seymour Digital Media. We do search engine optimization and Google Ads for the most part. We play around with websites and social, but we're the Google people. I'd say Google girl, but there's a boy here too that does it. So Google gang.
Gang, there
Google
you go.
gang. I want to end my emails. It's so cheesy with
Google Geeks.
have a Google day instead of have a good day. I know.
Mm,
I know.
yeah.
I kill myself. I think it's only me. Anyway, Greg, we should get right to it. Hi, guys. Pipe in and say hello. Oh, Lorna's here. Oh, it's been a while. Yay. Look at that. I love the dog picture. Lorna, this one's good for you. I know you get some good Google reviews. We're going to get into that. But so Google My Business. It's for what businesses, Greg?
It's well, I was about to say all businesses, but I guess technically it's not for all businesses. It's supposed to be for real world businesses, plumbers, electricians, like food stores, like
Right.
service based that actually have a location. It's
Okay.
not technically supposed to be for maybe people like you and I for the
Shut up.
digital space, even though we do
Yeah,
have
it is.
some.
Yeah, it
We
is.
get away with it.
We're like an electrician. There's no getting away with anything. I am a service provider. I work with people in Duncan. I work with people in Victoria. I work with people in the States. But because I serve people locally, I can have a Google My Business. Yeah. But that being said, there are some rules, and I think the rules are kind of have to change because of COVID. Um, because now a lot of businesses that weren't allowed, like virtual assistants, well, are they should they be allowed? Anyway, we're not talking about who's allowed really, but we just wanted to cover that. And Greg and I, we had a discussion about the difference between optimization and maintenance. Um, right? So maintenance is looking, just reviewing it quickly. Optimization is the act of doing different things weekly and monthly and daily to up your ante to get clients. Lorna is saying, I'm getting 95% of my clients from GMB. That's amazing.
Very good.
That's, yeah. Reviews play a huge role in that, but reviews are later down our list. So,
Yeah, I think of just going back on your what you were explaining, optimization versus maintenance. I think of optimization of a Google My Business page for me is you set it up, you optimize it once with everything to do with your business, and then it's not optimization after that for me. It's maintenance,
mm,
keeping up with what's going on with your business or what is accessible in Google My Business. That's why when you first brought the topic up, I was kind of thinking optimization to me is that initial creation, optimization, putting everything in, and then after is a maintenance thing for me.
interesting how different we are. I actually tried to bring up the video in the chat. And anyway, Richard's here. Hello, Richard. Google My Business should be used as a second home page. So true. Well said. I like that. Yeah, Greg, it's funny that we discovered that we kind of differ on how we describe the same things, right? Because
Mhm.
so I thought that's interesting, and I feel bad for clients when they hire people and they're like, "What do you mean?" Aster's here, yeah, 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 yay! I like what Richard's saying. I wanted to, so I teach Google My Business, and well, it changes all the time. There's some additions that have been added, but there's 3 ranking factors, and then there's other factors that come into play, but there's 3 major ones. So that affect your SEO, as strange as that sounds. Aster saying, hi, 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 yay. So they are you waiting? Are you guys ready? First one is your main category. Your category, I know, and as simple and silly as it sounds, your main, so you got to spy on your competition there, right? Um, if you want to rank against them. Or if you're competing with a certain business, check out their category. And if you don't know how to do that, there's a wicked Chrome extension called, I used to have to do this manually. It sucked. It was interesting to do. You just go into kind of the code. And anyway, it's called GMB Spy. Super original name. Like super original. Um, but I love it. So, Greg, do you remember the other one for GMB? You do it. You just
What do
don't.
you mean?
The
Oh, the other the three main.
yeah, the
Yeah,
second one.
your business description,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, and then yeah. Thirdly, you said it already. Reviews. I think reviews should almost be first. Reviews, reviews, reviews.
Oh, it's really interesting because it's kind of like the if you stop getting reviews, the reviews don't last forever, right? I mean, you get a certain score, and every time you up your review, you up your ante, right? You're better. So I don't know. I am shameless about asking for reviews. Um, ooh, Richard's saying always spy on your competition. Yes, I like. And Lauren is saying tip of the week on Google My Business. That brings us to other strategies that are part of optimization, which is posting.
Hmm.
Now, it sounds like Richard knows what he's doing. Hey, Richard, do you post weekly on Google My Business? And do you have any strategies around that? I'd love to know. Um, right. And yeah, I mean, we post weekly. Greg does not, but I know some business owners you use do, right, Greg?
I for my own, I post once in a while, not very often.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, for customers, the all of these things we're talking about today, I'm pushing them to do all. And do you find sometimes it's difficult to get customers to want to ask for reviews? Like I have customers who just they're like, my Google business page doesn't come up for the search for my category, and they're complaining that they can't get pulled up,
Hmm.
and yet they won't go through the process when we tell them what they should be doing. They're like, I don't know, I don't want reviews. What if I? Because they're thinking, what if I get that bad review? I think.
Mm. Oh, so there's some secret sauce here. You can tell the business owner that if the company mentions another company, it gets ripped down like that if you report it. Like it's so fast.
Mm.
And but I get it. I mean, we've come across that, but it's hey, if you want to show up on Google, this is what you have to do. Don't do it, don't show up. You know. However, that being said, now healthcare professionals like counselors and things, I've run across where they don't want to answer the reviews because it's against regulations for them. They are actually not allowed to put reviews on their website. And so I guess that could
What
go down
industry is that?
any count like counselors,
Oh,
um, in the count like if you're a psychologist and things like that.
right.
There there are also certain businesses that don't want reviews or are going to have a hard time getting reviews, like bankruptcy people, divorce lawyers, like like what do you? I mean, we could go look at divorce lawyers' reviews, be
I
like,
don't know if you're on the positive end of it, you might be. ecstatic and say, these are the best lawyers in town.
Right. If you win, yeah. So Aster's asking a really good question, which is, what about people that buy reviews? I think it's harder to buy reviews on Google My Business on Google, but I've gotten. Have you ever got one of those emails from like a trust pilot person telling you must leave a review, or or they're gonna like spam your blah 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 or ruin your life basically if you don't leave them a review on Trustpilot. I think a lot of the reviews on Trustpilot are probably fake.
Mm.
There's a lot of places to leave reviews, um, and I've met somebody that asked to buy a review from us, and it was for Amazon product. I didn't do it. I didn't. 30% of people don't believe if a company has all 5-star reviews. 30% of people don't believe that the reviews are true.
I'm in that 30%.
Right. Okay. Like
Not that I don't believe it. I just would prefer to see. I think it's near impossible to be perfect. So.
Well, I have a review on there that was like, I only leave 4 stars, but I left 5 stars for, us. Love that. Sorry, that was a really good review. But yeah, Richard, or who is saying this? Is it Richard? Yes, Richard. Bad reviews are an opportunity to see how you handle things. I mean, it's my favorite when you see bad reviews, and then you see the client write 4 pages,
But at the same time, don't get in a review fight. Don't go back and forth, because there are some people who they will never be happy. They'll never, look at what you're saying and accept some type of promo to come back, or like, we'll treat you better next time, whatever it is. They will not. They're just going to complain, and that's all they want to do. And if you respond, they may respond back.
You have to respond. You have to respond to reviews because it's a ranking factor in local SEO. However,
I know, but don't respond once, and not if they follow up again.
Well, it has to be closed. If they respond again, try to take it offline. And, some people are crazy. We've actually had a guy that left a review for a client that said, I haven't been to this location, but. And it's like, well, how could you leave a review, buddy? Like, what are you doing? But Greg and I have a mutual client who, he's special, and I love him to pieces. And he gets a lot of 5-star reviews, and he gets a lot of 1-star reviews. Depends on the day. And, if you're somebody who wants a lot of service when you walk in there and you want to be shown around the store and all the stuff, it's the wrong business for you to go in. If you want quick, fast action service, it's the right business. So he gets a lot of reviews. Richard saying 4.2. I'm like 2.4. 4.2 to 4.5. Yes. Those hard, like if I got a bad review, and I know Greg, you've probably experienced this, and you guys have probably experienced this, when your client gets a bad review, they freak out. Like it's the worst thing in the world, and sleepless nights.
I had a client like that about a year and a half ago, and they took over. They bought a business, and they first took it over. So there was a little bit of a learning curve with the new business and making some changes and getting it, going again. And initially he had sort of a flurry of a couple of bad reviews, people having bad experiences. And he was like, delete the Facebook page. I don't want it. It's getting all bad reviews. I'm like, fine. All right. So we closed it down. Wow. But now he still doesn't have the Facebook page, but he does still have the Google My Business, because obviously you can't take that down. And he pretty well gets 5-star reviews all the time. There's maybe one every couple of months that comes in that's not a 5-star. Someone had a bad experience, but that's to be expected. every business can't be perfect all the time.
It's normal. It's yeah, it is normal. Richard's saying it's it's a great way you're answering to your potential clients. I really like that actually. I mean, how many of us, especially marketers, read reviews before we buy from a client? Like I what was I doing? I was going to a chiropractor, and of course I want to sell the chiropractor eventually. Like I'm a marketer, like come on now. But so I looked around and I was in pain, so I definitely wanted the fastest service possible, right? And I called one place and they didn't have a website. I was like, "You don't have a website?" And they were like, "Well, we don't need one." You know what? My instant response was, I didn't even know I was going to say it was, "Well, it's not for you. It's for your clients." Like, and I was just like, "Oh my God, like mind blown." Right. And that's just like what Richard's saying about reviews. They're for customers to read. It's not about the owner, it's not about the reviewer, it's about the customers looking at those. You look at them, right, Greg? Do you
Yep.
judge on reviews?
Yeah, I was just gonna say Richard's 4.2 to 4.5 sweet spot's not good for me because I have a far 5-star rating on my Google My Business.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, so do I go to a client and say, "Hey, can you give me a 4-star
Well,
review, please"?
the review I told you about just a minute ago, I was at the client misunderstood me because I said, you can leave me a 4-star review. Just make sure you say, I only ever give 4 stars, you know?
Mm,
um, and so he gave me 5 stars and then said, I only ever give 4 stars. So, which that's great. What a kind person, right? The other thing about reviews, which is really interesting, is you want to get your clients to get their customers to name the service, the area, and those are ranking factors in Google My Business or for your local SEO. So, um, I like when people say SEO and Google Ads, right? Greg, you would like if somebody said websites, right? Because that's websites
yeah,
Burnaby.
people like us know that, so I think when we go do reviews of things, we try to put in keywords like that. But the normal person, doesn't know, so you have to hopefully try to coax that out of them.
I think it's important. The Richard saying something really funny here. They read the 1 star and the 5 stars. Here's a funny point. So we got a like 3-star review. It's the 3-star I think that kills me. Right in the middle. Well, it's like,
It's like, meh.
what's the point of leaving the review? You're like, eh, it's okay. It's like with no comments. You're just like, so what does that mean? Like, you know, that's the thing. If you hate a company, let's say you hate a company, and you're gonna leave them a review, and you just leaving them a star review with no words will make it so that review can never be taken down,
Hmm.
right? Which is really interesting. So, um, yeah, Lauren is saying I get a lot of people that go to my website and then they call. Reviews sell you online, and they actually you want to hit that 3 pack in the map pack, right? So what do they say? 30% of all results pages now, search engine results pages have the local map pack in it, right? I think it's 30. It's 30 or 70. I might have my numbers mixed. I'm a little dyslexic. Anyway, the map pack and the first 3 are the ones, right? They're the gold.
Yeah.
Right. So reviews are we skipped over the description, Greg.
I mentioned the description and then I went right on to the third.
I think it's funny that it's a ranking factor, and the other things like your products and your services aren't considered a ranking factor. But I think they play an integral role to like I have a lot of fun. We sell Google My Business as a service, and when we first optimize an account, we'll take their services like kind of like you do with Google Ads and split out their services and like make a product for each of their service or product. And
Yeah.
that seems to work well. But it's not a ranking factor. Like not at all. I think it's just a great way to internally link to your site because you get your call to action. And I mean, do you guys ever see the posts from Google My Business? I just want to know. Does anybody see them? I
I well, I know where they are. Um,
You're a marketer.
well, no, I mean, like speaking from a person looking up
Mm,
other businesses, I know where they are in the listing,
yeah.
but I don't often look for if they've mentioned a post. I'm more like, that's the business. Yep. Where's their web link? Click,
Mm.
go. Which I would assume most people use it for that. They're like, how do I contact? How do I get to their website? What are their hours?
Well, so a big factor in local SEO is NAP, name, address, phone number. So if we think about what a person needs to interact with a business, what do they need? They need their name, they need their address, and they probably need their phone number. So those are the three most important things, right? So yeah, keeping your hours up to date on Google My Business. I think that helps. I think if you update them, you get. I think if you do what Google asks you to do, you'll get up in the rankings. And I also believe Google tells you what they want you to do on the homepage when you sign into Google My Business, right? Because they're like, advertise, advertise. And then they're like, put pictures up, do a post. You're like, okay. So, ooh, okay, there's a good question. Do you think GMB would be good for my platforms? Ooh, Aster, are you asking that? Because I think, yes, I do. Wix, is it Wix? Wix has they did a deal. I'll have to find the article. They did a deal with Google, and they're you can post directly to Google My Business from inside your Wix website. Like when you log in as the owner. Isn't that crazy?
Like
Like,
like a status or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
status or like a post. So you can
Yeah.
manage your Google My Business inside. And Wix did that deal, and then right after they started bashing WordPress. You know, the whole they sent people headphones to switch to I don't even know. So um I don't know why Google would do that, but I think Google and Wix have had a sordid history of love and hate, right?
Well, I don't think Google would care. The post is just being put on their platform from another place. And I believe I've come across a WordPress plugin that would also allow you to do something similar from your own WordPress site. I'd have to check on that, but I'm pretty sure I came across something like that.
I want to see that. That would be cool. Richard's asking a really good question. I hear a lot of mixed feelings. I have a lot of mixed feelings, or I hear there are a lot of mixed feelings about. So when you upload an image to Google My Business, you definitely want to rename it, whatever your service is, or whatever you're trying to rank for, plus your business name. Um, but there is a thing about geo targeting, like because you can put your address on there, right? Um, so there's some argument about is it good? Does it affect your SEO? And it's really hard to know. I don't know. You know what I've done though, which is really interesting. I've gone and made a Google map to my business from all the locations locally I want to serve that are less than like 2 hours away flying. Um, and then I saved it and then I made it public. That's one of the newest things. That and reporting other Google My Business people or businesses who are putting either their location or their what they want to optimize, what they want to rank for, that isn't their business name. So those are the two. The reporting is the newest thing, right? Oh, you got look at this going on. Hey, Aura's here. Yay. Yeah, there's a Google My Business. So I love it, the knowledge panel. Okay, so we got more questions. Make a map is of your ideal clients. Yeah, that's good too. NAP, does it carry any risk to it for a single work at home? This is a really hard one because as a business owner who works from home, in Google, you can do service area, right? So you put your address in, it doesn't necessarily show up on Google and it'll show a service area. Doing name, address, phone number across the web, yeah, you are pretty much signing yourself. If you're put your phone number on the web, people can call you, right? If you put your address, I mean, we've had people get a hold of us. Our address is on ours, and we've had phone calls. Hey, can I come over and show you this product that you might want to sell, or partner with me to market? We say no. We have big dogs, and they probably won't like that. Anybody coming over, right? Like, but it is, that is a really good point. Um, so with Google My Business, I would do service area. With the NAP stuff, I, I don't know what I'd do. What would you do, Greg? What would you recommend? Ooh,
For the most part, I try not to list my address anywhere and specify a service area. And if my address does need to be shown, I typically just don't put it in because I would prefer it not to be shown.
hmm.
Uh,
Well, if you're trying to show up locally, I mean, you want to put your name, address, phone
it,
number across.
it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
Do you want to list? Do you want to list your home address because you work out of your home, or
Yeah.
not?
Well, and as the world changes, I mean, more and more people are going to be working out of your home. You could, so there's a strategy. Now, I am not necessarily recommending this, but there is a strategy where you would go get a P.O. box. Now, you can't necessarily have Google My Business if you have a P.O. box, but if you treat your P.O. box like an address where the location is the street name and the P.O. box is the suite, you can do that. The mail does get to that location, but you want your address the same that's on Google My Business that you do across the web. So,
Mm-hmm.
pretty
I
interesting.
actually came across a site yesterday, I believe it was,
Hmm.
or maybe the day before, that had no phone number anywhere on it, and it drove me nuts because this company's been around for a long time.
Mm.
Um, Names Pro.
Did you go to their Google My Business and did it have a phone number? That's what I did when I
It
was.
had a phone number for abuse.
We all like to be able to call companies that we want to work with, right? Or at least the text option is good, right? Um, or is asking, make a map of your ideal client. Let me re-explain that. So we all use Google Maps. You can go and make your own personalized map if you go to places often. So when I say my ideal clients, I meant my ideal clients' locations. So my map that I have that's public goes from my business to Vancouver International Airport, to Victoria, to Duncan, and to a couple of the little areas here, right? Um, and that's what I mean. So where my ideal clients locally would be located. It's kind of a fun thing to do. I don't know if it's a ranking factor, but I thought I'd try it to see if there'd be an uptick. And I recorded it inside Google Analytics. So if you make any major changes, say on your Google My Business or anywhere else on your website, make a note of it, an annotation inside Google Analytics. Um, and then you can look back and be like, oh, okay, look, I changed this and right? Because we have bad memories as humans, right? Uh,
We're quickly running out of time here,
oh,
but I know that you potentially had a story about a real estate client that you might.
oh yeah. I have a real estate client who's American, and like we optimized her Google My Business. She's been blogging. Is this the story that I told you? Um,
I don't know. I just see it in our notes that you were going to tell a story about.
I've become real estate people I work with. Um, but this woman, she's an amazing agent, and she has been adding photos every week. Or sorry, we've been adding her listing photos. She's because a lot of real estate agents have them from the past, right? So we add photos every week, like a pile. And she's been blogging every week and like doing a post. She is getting
Mm-hmm.
a phone call a day right now. Now I know real estate is hot in the US and she's in like states close to BC. So real estate's hot anyway. But I mean it really does, it can change a business if you use this to your advantage, right? It's a free tool from Google. It's your digital asset as a business owner, local
You
business.
just have to spend time on it.
Yeah, and if you do, it will benefit you. And I think right now the big things are add photos every week, add a post every week, update, check the categories, because they change and update, and you get your main category is the most important, and then your other, I think, 10 you get. So you get 10. Last before we go, hot tip. If you go into Google My Business and you want to add locations, but you're unsure. So if you read the documentation, they say don't have it go further than 2 hours from your business, right? So if I'm here, I don't want to put the US, right? Necessarily. Now,
Mhm.
if you don't know what locations you can put in, if you go into Google Ads and say you have a campaign and then you go into the maps of your Google Ads, you can toggle on this thing that'll let you see all the different locations you can add, and then you can just go back and because you can add like mini neighborhoods. Like for instance, if you're Vancouver, you could probably add Commercial Drive or Main Street or Granville Island, right? So you could hit those 20 pretty easily. Um, Google is trying to charge me 12 bucks for GMB. Oh my God, I love talking about GMB. Can you guys tell? That's weird. Aster, is that for Google Ads? And you need to message me. I don't like that. I want to talk about that. And I think it would be good for your products. Um, yes, the Google Analytics is great. Or is saying, and guys, we are out of time. We're
I wonder if Aster is going through the setup right now.
over.
It's trying to charge or something, maybe.
uh, that's so weird. That might be because they're trying to get you to do it. Oh, Aster,
Oh,
maybe
is this the
that's
enhanced?
maybe that's Google screened, right? There's Google screened and Google guaranteed. We'll do one of these lives at a point in time. It's the newest Google Ads products, but they're paid ads, paid per lead. Super interesting stuff. Very convoluted and not. It's so hard. We've been working on it to get a client that for a couple months. So I don't know about that, but message me. I want to look at that because that's kind of neat. And we're out of time. Greg, what's next week? Do you even know?
I do not know what's next week.
You're supposed to look. I can. Maybe you guys know. Did you guys like my message saying, "Hey, we're going live"? Was that a good reminder? Or is that overkill? Okay, I can't tell you. Next week we'll be here doing something amazing, and I will be more on top of it to tell you what we'll be talking about. But if you are wondering, in the header of the Facebook group, we have all the lives listed.
Next week is May.
Oh,
Yeah.
Greg has work to do, guys. He has to put the new banner up there. Thanks for the reminder.
Also, the topic is going to be search operators and how they can help you.
Oh my God, that I have to. I'm doing that one, aren't I? I love search.
I'm wondering. Yeah, it's Rena and Phelan, but
Oh, yeah.
I wonder, do you use operators a lot,
all
or do you?
all the
I
time.
t- I tend not to too much, but I know I can use them if I want to be more specific. But I think majority of people have no idea about operators and don't use them at all.
Oh
So
my God, I got my terms of service by using operators. So we'll talk more about that cliffhanger. Um, they're the best thing ever. If you go to any live in our group, next week is gonna be like solid good. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us. Love it. Bye.
bye everyone.
Bye. Happy Thursday.